Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, 2025 is an amazing time to look to buy a home here in the East Bay. We're seeing prices falling and we're expecting lower prices towards the end of the year. We're seeing inventory going up. That higher inventory is going to give buyers more options and also going to reduce competition for homes. So guys, if you're looking for your dream home, look around the screen. You're going to see the link to our search page. Go out there, find your dream home, and we'll connect with you and help you out buying that home. Also, if you're buying or selling a home, go out there and go to our home valuation site and we'll keep you updated on the value of your home. Also, give us a call. All right, have a great rest of your week. Thanks out. Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, the fun part of finding a home is really scrolling through the internet, looking at beautiful pictures and visiting those beautiful homes. Now, something that you got to do pretty early in the process when you're serious about buying a home is getting pre-approved. In this video, we're going to talk about that pre-approval process, why it's important for you, and just give you some ideas around it. So guys, let's talk about what is a pre-approval. It's basically just a letter from a lender, from a mortgage loan officer, or from a bank, or a mortgage loan company, and they're saying you're going to qualify for this amount, and it gives you credibility in the home buying process. Now, these pre-approvals can vary. You can have something just a pre-qualification where you've simply gotten on the phone or met with a loan officer and you verbally given them financial information, and they tell you based on that financial information you're going to qualify for this amount. Then you can dig a little bit deeper where you've provided all your financial information and so forth, and that loan officer has looked at that financial information, did calculations and so forth, and determined that you would qualify for this amount, and that's a pre-approval. Then there's a next step, which is underwriting. Now, underwriting is that back-end administrative process that happens when you get a loan, and that's when it goes to that back-end administrator called an underwriter who actually does the pre-approval, and that person is going to review it, and they're going to give you a conditional approval that you can buy this home, and that's going to be the strongest approval. Now, not in every case are you going to be able to get a underwritten approval, but it's always the strongest. And but again, a lot of times, you know, if you're just getting a pre-approval and you've got a great loan officer who's gone through and made sure that you qualified for this amount and put a pre-approval letter out there, that's really going to do it for you and give you a lot of credibility in the home buying process. So in this next section, guys, we're going to talk about why we need a pre-approval. Now, number one reason is it gives you credibility in the buying process. And here's what, when you submit an offer, you're going to submit that pre-approval letter with your offer, and that's going to tell the buyer, and it's going to tell the seller, and it's going to tell the listing agent that you are a qualified person to buy this home, that you have enough funds for your down payment, you have enough funds for your closing costs and so forth, and you will qualify for a loan large enough to buy this home. Now, a couple other reasons you want to look at getting pre-approved. You know, number one, credibility, as I said earlier. Number two is it's going to give you an idea of how much you're going to qualify for. You know, you may go out there and think, oh, geez, I'm only going to qualify for $500,000, but when you sit down with a loan officer and they do your pre-approval, suddenly you're qualified for $800,000, or vice versa. Third, it's going to really let you see what programs are out there and programs that you're going to qualify for. You know, and the ins and outs of those programs. There are conventional loans out there. There's FHA loans out there. There's VA loans out there for veterans. There's conforming loans. There's high balance conforming. There's jumbo loans. So there's a lot of different loan programs. Each one has different criteria for qualification. Sometimes there are programs with only about 3% down. There's programs with 3.5% down. There's programs, you know, that require 5% down. And it's going to give you a sense what you qualify for. Also, it's going to give you a sense of how much you can, how much your monthly payment's going to be, how much you have to come out of pocket, and so forth. So once you've sat down with the lender and they've gone through your pre-qualification, now they can give you an idea of what the monthly payment's going to be and the things that you're going to have to pay for, and you start getting solid information about how much your monthly payment's going to be, and so forth. And then the other thing is how much you're going to come out of pocket, and for your down payment, closing costs, and moving costs. Now, one of the things I mentioned earlier is programs out there. Remember, there's also assistance programs out there to help you with down payments and so forth. So as you're going through the pre-approval process, that's exactly where you're going to learn about these particular programs. And lastly, why do we do a pre-approval? The pre-approval process is going to let us know, hey, do we have enough cash for our down payment? We're going to have enough cash for move-in, or we're going to have enough cash for our closing costs and so forth. We get really specific about that, Also, as I said earlier, it's going to tell you about assistance programs that are available to you out there as well. So one of the steps in the pre-approval process is really connecting with a loan officer. And one of the best ways to connect with a loan officer is to work with your realtor. Identify somebody who's going to be a great fit for you. Great realtors will have great loan officers working with them, and they'll be able to connect you with somebody. Now, also, one of the most important things in that process is really having a relationship with that person, a person that you can have honest and open communication with, a person who's going to work diligently, and you have the confidence or the trust that they're going to be able to get you through this process, get your home financed, and get you into a home and close on the loan. So that relationship's real important. And a lot of times you can have that relationship with an existing person. So one of the ways, or one of the things I always recommend to people is, when you're going through this underwriting process or this buying process and you're looking to get pre-approved, Google the person. Look at the reviews. Look at what people are saying about that loan officer. That's going to give you a really solid idea about how it's going to go with this person. Also, review their financial institution that they work for, whether it be a bank, a credit union. How good are they in the mortgage processing? And make sure they're not talking about refinances, because it's a total different process. They're talking about purchases, okay? So, Google the loan officer, Google the company they work for, the bank they work for, and get a sense of what they're like. Now, one of the things you got to remember also is how supportive is this loan officer. Remember, a lot of the things you're going to be doing are going to be done. You're going to be looking at houses after hours, after work, in the evening. You're going to be making many of these decisions in the evenings, on weekends, and so forth. When you're looking at open houses and searching for houses, is that loan officer going to be available to you? Or is this somebody who's just in the office from 1 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then they're off on the weekends and that kind of stuff, and you're not going to be able to reach them? So you got to make sure that they're going to be available to you. So Google them, guys. Make sure they're available. And people who are recommended by your realtors, typically you're going to find that these are going to be the loan officers with the best reputation in the industry. There's been multiple times where I've gotten into contract. I've been the buyer's agent and I've gotten into contract because we've got a lender that's got a great reputation in the industry, and the agent on the listing side has looked at that lender and goes, oh my gosh, they're pre-approved by such and such. We're good to go. This is going to be solid. We're going to be able to get this done. And there's been multiple times I've gotten into contract because of that. And there's been multiple occasions where I've been on the listing side and I've had some resistance. I've had concerns because I knew the reputation of the lender. So something to think about out there, okay? Again, that pre-approval process, the lender becomes very important. Google them. Look at people seriously referred by your realtor, and make sure that they're working off hours. Make sure you can access them. Make sure you have their cell phone number. Make sure your realtor has their cell phone number so that you guys can get questions, answers, get pre-approval letters, and so forth generated in those off-hour times. Now, guys, one of the most important steps in the pre-approval process, earlier I spoke about pre-qualifications, just information being given to a loan officer, and they give you a letter saying, based on the information you gave me, here's how much you're going to be pre-approved for. Now, I got to tell you, in that process, going through the full pre-approval, giving all your financial information, allowing them to pull your credit and so forth, doing those things up front is very important, because that ensures that underwriting and so forth, everything is lined up and ready to go. A good loan officer is gonna have you do a bunch of work up front. You're gonna have to provide all your financials up front and so forth. They're gonna do their due diligence going through these items to ensure that you're pre-approved. So once we make an offer, once we get in the contract, they know that offer is going to move through smoothly. Now, you got to remember, the escrow process, the offer process is all in negotiation. And if we're having problems on the lending side, it really weakens our negotiating position. So we want to make sure that all that's taken care of. So once we go in the contract, or once we go into escrow, things are moving along smooth. And then we can simply negotiate things like repairs and so forth, on the home, and when we can push to close. So, guys, any questions or so, reach out to me. My number's somewhere around the screen. Look forward to talking with each one of you. All right, bye-bye now. Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, if you're looking to buy a home here in the East Bay, look around our site. You're going to find our home search site. Go out there free of cost and find your dream home. We're posting homes daily in all locations in the Bay Area and all price ranges. Also, if you're selling your home, also go out there. You'll see our home evaluation site. We'll keep you updated on what your home's worth. And if you're ready to talk about buying your next home or selling your home, click below and you'll be able to set up a 15 to 30 minute consultation with us, okay? Reach out to us directly also with a phone call. Thanks now. Bye-bye.